Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas is the world's largest cruise ship, but we knew that Royal Caribbean's next new ship was going to be impressive, but it's pretty darn incredible how they can push the boundaries of what we can expect on a cruise ship, and we have a full walkthrough tour of Icon of the Seas up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. This 20-deck high cruise ship comes in at 250,800 tons, winning the title of the biggest cruise ship in the world from sister vessel Wonder of the Seas. And you might be wondering, what does Icon of the Seas look like? What can you expect on board? What can you do? We have a full walkthrough tour showing you every area of this ship and what you should really check out when you get on board the ship. Let's begin with Chill Island. Chill Island is essentially the pool deck area of Icon of the Seas. The idea of Chill Island is a relaxing space, and with Chill Island, you're going to find all the pools and places to kind of just take it easy, right? And there's a number of different pools on Icon of the Seas. It's not just like a traditional cruise ship that has like a pool or a main pool deck. The idea here is to diversify what's available. Chill Island has ocean views across 3 different decks, and there's different pools within the Chill Island area. Again, the idea is that you can be drawn to different areas. Not everybody's congregating at just one pool, and that's part of the overall kind of strategy to keep people moving around this ship and checking out the different pools that you're going to find in Chill Island. The first pool we're going to look at is Royal Bay. The Royal Bay pool is the largest pool at sea according to Royal Caribbean, and this is probably the closest pool you're going to find to a traditional cruise ship pool, in the sense that it's a pool, doesn't have an overarching theme to it, doesn't mean it's bad or anything, it's just a really large pool. And actually having more pools on Icon was one of the things that Royal Caribbean really wanted with this ship. There are hot tubs, more opportunities to hop in the water and be in the water and see the water. That's something Royal Caribbean really wanted with this Icon class cruise ship. And again, lots of hot tubs, lots of different places. I think if you're looking throughout the whole pool area, you're just notice there's a lot of places to go hang out and kind of enjoy yourself. And this really stood out to me when I was walking through Icon of the Seas, was how much there is to see and how many places you can find. And I feel like this is going to be a really big hit with a lot of people who love spending time at the pool deck. After all, finding chairs on the pool deck on other cruise ships can be a challenge. Now, I'm not saying that won't happen on Icon, but what I am saying is there's a lot of seating all around Chill Island. From chairs to loungers to beach beds to day beds to benches. You're going to find a lot of seating. One of the major complaints people always have is chair hogs, getting a spot whether you're in the shade or out in the sun, and it looks like Royal Caribbean has really put a lot of time and effort into figuring that all out. Now, Lime and Coconut is one of the major bars in Chill Island. Lime and Coconut is actually across 3 different decks. Lime and Coconut is your pool deck experience. This concept first debuted on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, but like every other new ship that comes out from Royal Caribbean, they iterate it, they improve it, and they make it a little bit better. And you can find plenty of those drinks that you really want to enjoy by the pool. Of course, the Lime and Coconut, which is actually the name of a drink, is really worth checking out. Those are the drinks that come in those little bright buckets. You probably see them around the ship. But the Lime and Coconut is really good. There's also the Painkiller, a variety of others. I recommend trying them out. You're also going to find El Loco Fresh, which is a complimentary dining venue on the pool deck of Icon of the Seas. El Loco Fresh is a grab-and-go Mexican. You're going to have quesadillas, you're going to have burritos, you're going to have tacos. The best part of this isn't just the fact that it's Mexican food, which I absolutely love, but there's also a topping station that you can customize it. This is really helpful with kids who are picky, or maybe you want to load it up exactly the way you want it. It's very customizable, it's easy to do, and the idea is that you can grab it and be on your way. So this isn't like a sit-down restaurant, something that's gonna take up a little bit of time. This is great for, you're in your bathing suit still, you're gonna walk by, grab a burrito, grab some chips, add some salsa to it, and then go back to your beach chair or what have you, or maybe eat something here at Local Fresh, then go back later. Either way, it's easy, it's quick, and it's included in your cruise fare. There is the Cantana Fresca nearby. The Cantana Fresca is basically the bar for El Loco Fresh, and what makes this bar a little different, other than the venue and the design of it, is the fact that, of course, it offers a lot of different tequilas and margaritas. I would probably say that if you're looking for a really good margarita, this might be a really good spot for you to go to. And I say that because the margaritas here have a little better tequila selections, so it might taste just a bit better for you. Overall, I'm a big fan of El Loco Fresh. I love the food here, and being able to just, customize your burritos and tacos exactly the way you want it. I'm a big fan. I just like that a lot because I love an ungodly amount of salsa on mine. You're also going to have something new I've never seen in any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. These chairs? I don't know what you call these things. Write in the comments what you think we should call these things going forward. I mean, they're not loungers, they're not chairs. They're large objects you recline in and enjoy, and it looks really comfortable. It is really comfortable. but I'm not sure what the proper word is to describe it. But again, the idea here is that you have more to find to be able to relax and chill. Again, they didn't call it Chill Island for no reason at all. It is about relaxation and enjoying your time. Something else you're going to notice is that a lot of the pools face the ocean. One of the overarching themes of Icon is, again, that you're going to be able to see more of the ocean. So you've got pools and you've got hot tubs that face the ocean. And this is a concept that really makes a lot of sense. People want to see what's going past them and enjoy those views. And I absolutely love this idea. So if you're looking for a great hot tub experience, that might be the case right there, because there's a lot of cool things happening when it comes to those type of experiences and seatings. And, you know, Chill Island really stands out because it's not just another pool deck. You've also got the Cove Pool, which is a new pool area, which is in-water loungers. The Cove Pool is intended to be, again, facing out to the water. It's an infinity edge pool, and it's something a little bit different, you know, in the sense that it's not just, oh, look, they have another pool here. It's something cool about it. It's these views that are out there. So while you're in the water, you get to see the beautiful scenery going past you and enjoy being out in the sun. And I love this idea, especially the in-water loungers. What a great idea. Great way to be in the water, but not in the water, but still be, you know, cooled off a little bit. I really, really like that quite a bit. Now, as I mentioned, the Lime and Coconut is located throughout the Chill Island. You're going to find them on all 3 decks. So when you go look at Chill Island, you're going to run into probably one iteration of the Lime Coconut or not. Same menu across them all. And if you have a drink package, one of either the deluxe drink package or the Royal Refreshment package, or of course the soda package, those benefits work at the Lime and Coconut as well. Something cool about Icon is that there's this little dry slide to get you between decks. It's just for fun. You can totally go on there and enjoy that. Also, you're going to find Sprinkles, the soft serve complimentary ice cream on Icon. And on Sprinkles, there's actually a couple locations. Here's one in Chill Island, and the idea is that you just get as much ice cream as you want by the cone. It's soft serve, and it's a real win with everybody. I mean, I think I always talk about Sprinkles as, oh, it's great for the kids, but you can be a video editor and enjoy just as much Sprinkles as anyone else. They've also got this Instagram wall over here right next to Sprinkles, so you grab your ice cream, go over here, enjoy it, and maybe take a selfie in front of the You Make Me Melt sign here. Kind of a neat thing. Again, try to make it a little fun with everything. You're also going to find ping pong tables on the Chill Island area of Icon of the Seas. The cool thing about this area, it's a little more enclosed, so you don't have to worry about the wind affecting your gameplay as much, or at least you can't blame the wind on the fact that you can't do a serve at all. Maybe that's better or worse, I'm not sure, but it's a fun thing to have over here as well. Swim and Tonic is one of the bars also, and I love this idea. I'm going to predict that this is going to be the busiest bar pool combination on Icon. So the Swim and Tonic is the first swim up bar at sea, and swim up bars have always been popular. On Royal Caribbean's private island, Perfect Day Coco Key, the Oasis Lagoon has one, and Hideaway Beach has one, and they are so popular because, like, it is the exact vibe that I think everybody wants with a Caribbean vacation. They want to be in the water, drinking a drink, and being at the pool bar makes it a lot more interesting and a lot more enjoyable because you don't have to go very far. It's kind of a neat experience, and I think Swim and Tonic is going to be very, very popular here. So the chairs, as you might imagine, are first come, first serve, and yes, your drink packages do work here, so no worries about worrying about getting a drink out there or not. If you have a drink package, that's available as well. And then you have Cloud 17. Cloud 17 is another pool looking out to the ocean, quieter area, and this is up on, well, deck 17, a little further away from all the action, like deck, you know, 15 and 16, that's gonna be a little busier, right? Because that's gonna be the heart of Chill Island. But if you go to 17, you're on the uppermost pool deck, and here it's a little quieter, there's a little less music, and, you know, you can just enjoy that ambiance. And the best part is it does face the water, which is another opportunity for you to be able to have more of a connection with the ocean and the surroundings. So it's a neat little option there, and Cloud 17 is available also with its own Lime and Coconut, conveniently located nearby. Now, walking through deck 17, similar to some of the other Royal Caribbean cruise ships top decks in which there's a walking track as well as loungers and lots of chairs to go into, odds are this is probably going to be probably the least crowded area of Chill Island, because being on the uppermost, there's less shade up here, and it's a little further away from everything else, so that can make it a little more accessible in the sense that you might find more chairs, especially if you roll in on a sea day in the middle of the day. Deck 17 might be where you want to go for that. One interesting thing about the Lime and Coconut is for the first time, there's a frozen drinks bar with flavors that appeal to all flavor profiles. I think the idea here is that Royal Caribbean wants to offer a specific bar where you can quickly get frozen drinks. Frozen drinks are so popular on any cruise ship, but they take time to make. So instead, they have these frozen machines here you can mix and match and find an awesome combination for you. It's kind of like the Coca-Cola freestyle machines, but with frozen drinks. So check it on out. It's within Chill Island at the Lime and Coconut, and it's something different. And it might be your new favorite place. I know my kids will love going here and creating all sorts of crazy drinks, and I'm just gonna roll my eyes at and think that sounds gross, but they're gonna love it. In addition, there are casitas you can rent on Icon of the Seas. These casitas have an extra cost to them, so you can purchase them before the cruise. You could book it on board, but my advice is to book it pre-cruise. Anyway, the casitas have a daily charge, so you rent it for the day, and then it's yours to use. And there's different drink services available for you, as well, of course, reserved chairs. So that's important for you to have a reserved spot. Well, that's one way around it. It will cost you extra. You can figure it's going to cost you a couple $100s for the day, but it's yours for the entire duration of the day, which is a really nice feature. There's also a smoking section here in Chill Island. Being an outdoor deck, there's a reserved area if you want to smoke. And you'll also find plenty of entertainment at Chill Island. My favorite, of course, is the live music performed over here. The pool band has returned on Chill Island. You're going to find them there. So there's a look at Chill Island. Lots of places to maybe explore. And I think for a lot of people, they're maybe going to hop around a little bit. Maybe start off the day in Swim and Tonic, move over to the Royal Bay Pool, maybe end it with a cocktail at the Lime and Coconut. Some really interesting options that Royal Caribbean has included over here, and it's truly transforming, I think, this neighborhood. Let's take a look at the back half of the top deck of Icon of the Seas, and there's lots happening here, starting with Thrill Island. Thrill Island is where you're going to find all the activities, all the things to keep you and your kids busy during your cruise. Thrill Island has a different number of components to it, but primarily the Category 6 water park is at the heart of it. Category 6 is the name of the water park, and it's called Category 6 because number 1's play on words, Category 5, hurricane, anyway, Category 6, but there's 6 slides to it, which makes it a little bit different there. And this is a really big deal because on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, they have 2, maybe 3 slides, and Royal Caribbean is really proud of the fact that on Icon, you're going to have an entire water park here, which is truly impressive. When it comes to Thrill Water Park, first of all, these slides are included in your cruise fare, so there is no extra cost for you to enjoy it. And really, Royal Caribbean wanted to create an entire neighborhood, an entire area of the ship dedicated just to having lots of thrills, things to keep you busy on there. In fact, in Category 6, there's an open free fall slide, the tallest drop slide at sea, family raft slides that accommodate 4 riders at once, and 2 mat racing slides. Again, this is not just, oh, we have a water slide or we have water slides on our ship. The idea here is you're going to have some truly impressive slides. Frightening Bolt is the tallest drop slide at sea. Pressure Drop is the first open free fall slide at sea. Storm Chasers, mat racing slides, we had those before, that's not new, but they're the longest mat racing slides at sea. Hurricane Hunter, the first family raft slide at sea. And Storm Surge, the first suspended family raft slide at sea. No doubt your kids are going to love this. Heck, I'm going to love this. We're going to check it out. There's also a Flowrider Surf Simulator. There is one surf simulator on Icon of the Seas. This is also included. Going on the surf simulator means you have an opportunity to try your hand at stand-up surfing or boogie boarding. Again, when it comes to this experience, it's a first come, first serve. You try your best at it. There are opportunities to do a paid class if you'd like to, where in that situation you can get private lessons. But you could go in here as a complete novice and possibly learn how to surf or maybe just be able to stand up on your board a little bit. It's a really fun activity, really cool thing to do. And it's very popular with a lot of folks because they like to try this out. Maybe it's your first time ever trying it out. Maybe you've done it many times. And the more you cruise, the more opportunities you have to try that out. There's also the mini golf course on Icon of the Seas. The mini golf course has become a staple of Royal Caribbean cruise ships because, of course, it's a fun activity. But as you can see here with this mini golf course, there is a lot more theming to it. It's called the Lost Dunes course. And I think the idea here is that, imagine you were shipwrecked, right? Because you were in that Category 6 hurricane. This is kind of where you play mini golf, and that's the loose theme you've got to it. It's fun, it's colorful, and it's included in your cruise fare. So, you grab the clubs, give it a try, and depending on how much your kids cheat at it or not, or you keep score, doesn't really matter. It's more the opportunity you have to go here and try it out. And I love how colorful it is. It wasn't too many years ago where the mini golf courses were just putting greens, and here you have a lot more decor to it, a lot more style behind it. There's also a basketball court within Thrill Island, and the basketball court, well, of course, you play basketball in it, obviously, but you can also do other activities. Depending on the time of day, they'll do things like soccer, they'll do pickleball, They will do volleyball. It really depends on what's going on. So check the cruise compass for what is available for you to check out. But these events will be held here in the basketball court. There is no cost to attend these events, by the way. It's just available on a first come, first served basis. And usually this is actually very popular. Pickleball is very popular in the mornings, it seems like. And then towards the afternoon, basketball really picks up, and there's a lot more cool events going on there. Volleyball, as I mentioned, dodgeball. Again, lots of activities happening. Now, in between all of this, you might be looking for a bite to eat, and you're going to find that bite to eat over at Base Camp. Base Camp is a hybrid restaurant. There are options that cost money and options that are included, so it's up to you which one you want to go for. I think with Base Camp, the idea here is that they wanted to provide a restaurant that's convenient to throw a water park. Imagine this, you're in the water park, your kids are having a great time going up and down the slides. They want to get something to eat, but they don't want to go all the way back to El Loco Fresh or the Windjammer. They want something convenient, or better yet, you want something convenient because you're watching them, right? They're going up and down the slides with their friends. And so for that standpoint, it makes sense for you to, have something convenient to get here. In addition, there's also a bar at Base Camp, and like all bars, it's a pay as you go kind of experience unless you have a drink package, but that's available for you as well. Some of the included food at Base Camp includes hot dogs, and there's actually pretzel bites. So try those out. Those cost nothing extra, and maybe you'll find a new favorite food to enjoy. Next, we're going to look at the Deserted Milkshake Bar. Deserted Milkshake Bar is a new concept as well. Again, it's milkshakes, I get it. But these are over-the-top milkshakes. Like, you can get like a conventional one, right? But the idea here is you've got milkshakes that have like everything in them, including adult milkshakes that have actually alcohol in them if you so choose. There's a variety of different choices here. There's a crafted menu in which you could go off of it and get some really over-the-top, super sugary, super fun milkshakes out there. This looks like a really cool idea. In fact, one of the milkshakes actually has a piñata in it, if you can believe that. Now let's check out Crown's Edge, which is a definite thrill attraction. This is an extra cost venue in which it's kind of like half ropes course, half zip line. It's hard to describe, but essentially you get strapped in and you go across this ropes course, we'll call it. It's not really a ropes course, but I don't know what you call it. I guess a track, and you go around it. And this, by the way, is happening on the side of the ship. And as you get around there, you'll eventually fall off of it, if you will. You're being strapped in, don't worry. And then descend down and experience it for yourself. This is a real thrill attraction. It does cost extra for you to do, but you might want to try that out. The rock climbing wall is on Icon of the Seas. The rock climbing wall is included in your cruise fare, and there are different tracks for different levels of experience. And as you can see, some are easier, some are much more difficult. But the idea is you try your best to get up to the very top and ring the bell up there. Don't worry, there are crew members to help you. There's rigging provided. All you need to do is bring closed-toed shoes and you're good to go. And to give it a try to get all the way up to the top. And this is fun for a lot of different people. It's known as Adrenaline Peak. And the rock climbing wall has been a staple of really a lot of different things to do over on any roller coaster cruise ship. All right, so let's look at Thrill Island, all the amazing thrills, adrenaline pumping adventures you're going to find in this neighborhood. And it looks like a really cool area. I think a lot of people are going to want to spend a lot of time. Just the water parks alone are truly impressive. I am very excited to go on those water slides many, many times. Right behind Thrill Island is the Hideaway. The Hideaway is the adults-only area on Icon of the Seas. The Hideaway is meant for guests who are 18 years old or older, and this is a private area just for them. There's no cost to get into the Hideaway, and the Hideaway is Royal Caribbean's first suspended pool at sea. It's also their first pool on the back of a ship. In fact, there's actually one more below a couple decks in Surfside, but I digress. Anyway, the point here is that you've got this beautiful space for you to go to and enjoy your time. There's bar, there's lots of seating at the Hideaway, but the pool is by far the main attraction because for a lot of people, the adults-only pool has been a place to go to for, of course, just adult conversation, not having to worry about kids. Kids are allowed to walk through to get from point A to point B, but they're not allowed to hang out in the pools or the chairs or anything like that. But here at the Hideaway, I think Royal Caribbean has really rethought this concept in the sense that, yeah, having an adults-only area is great, but it doesn't have to be a library. It doesn't have to be this like calm, quieting, like spa-like experience. Certainly you can find that. Some of these hot tubs off to the side, I think will provide that. But you're also going to find DJ music here during the daytime, as well as, of course, just more interesting seating and more views to enjoy. Really, when you look at the Hideaway, all of it faces the back. All of it is right up against the edge of the end of the ship. And I think with this area, Royal Caribbean wants to rethink the entire concept of what an adults-only area could be. And here on Icon, they're trying to provide just something a little bit different. Something that makes it stand out a little bit more and the pool is by far the most interesting aspect of it. There's also the Hideaway bar located nearby. If you're like, Matt, I really don't want to go in the pool that much, I'm looking for some shade, this is the place to go to. There's a nice little overhang here, both at the bar and sort of near the bar, some good seating there. So try some of the signature drinks you're going to find, including Oh My God. I think it's how you're supposed to pronounce the drink there, signature drink there, but it's just fun. It's a nice area for adults to enjoy and kind of take in a little peace and quiet. Although I say peace and quiet, again, I don't know how quiet it's going to be because these are adults after all, and adults like to have a good time and have, listen to music and talk and, just enjoy being outdoors. So this is the adults only area on Icon of the Seas. Next up is Surfside. Surfside is a new neighborhood dedicated to young families, and it's at the heart of the focus of Icon of the Seas. This neighborhood will offer a lot of different things for kids to do, including a babies and kids splash area. There's a new pool-themed version of Royal Caribbean's Carousel, and a bar with mommy and me matching mocktails for kids and cocktails for grown-ups. Surfside is designed really for kids 6 and under. I think certainly 7 and 8-year-olds will find things to do here as well. But older kids, obviously, this might be a little more juvenile for them. But the idea here is that you're going to have some cool things to check out. Now we're starting with some of the stores around here, and the stores here sells different items for kids like toys and bathing suits. There's also a slide that goes down from deck 7 down to deck 6, because why not a slide, I say? I love this idea. Down in Surfside, you're going to be able to, again, enjoy a lot of things. And I was actually surprised how much there is to do in Surfside. I kind of thought initially, oh, it'd just be a pool and stuff. There's a lot more than that. In fact, there's a number of different restaurants here, as well as activities. You're going to find not only the physical structures we're going to talk about in this tour, but also different activities throughout the day. Royal Caribbean wants to make sure there is lots for families to do together. This idea is not like it's, okay, I'm going to drop my kids off and I'm on my way. Surfside is about doing things with families, right? So parents and their kids together, and you can experience all of that. Now there's the arcade, which is available for an extra cost. Each game has an additional cost to it. And there's racing games, and there's skee ball, and there's games in which you can use, the claw and tickets and all that stuff. I mean, obviously the cost here is not cheap necessarily, but it adds up after a number of different games. But if your kids are into that, or if you're willing to let them be into that, the arcade is available here in Surfside on Icon. I think by far my favorite games are skee ball and the racing games. I love that. It's a fun activity also to do with the kids. Oftentimes the kids are like, can we go to the arcade? Can we go to the arcade? And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I get in there and I'm like, man, I could really go for some skee ball right now. So I indulge just as much. One of the restaurants you're going to find in Surfside is the Surfside Eatery. The Surfside Eatery is a buffet included in your cruise fare that is for families. The idea here is, if you've been to the Windjammer before, which has, food for everybody, right? The idea here is that they're expanding the kids-only food. Now, of course, adults can certainly eat here. There's nothing wrong with eating animal-shaped chicky nuggies. I'm going to go on record by saying that myself. I love those things. You're going to find pizza. You're going to find mac and cheese. You're going to find fruits. You're going to find, of course, plenty of desserts and lots of different food to enjoy. And the idea, again, is a lot of this with Surfside is that it's insulated. It's all self-contained, because traditionally, when you go on a cruise ship and you have kids, it's great. But you're going to be going from area to area, right? You're going to be going from like, okay, we're going to go from this part of the pool, on this deck to this restaurant, which is on a completely different deck and at the other end of the ship. But all this here is more inclusive, more inside, and more relatable in the sense that you can easily get from point A to point B and not have to really leave anything. So being a family-friendly restaurant, obviously there's family-friendly food, for the picky eaters out there, but also, you can roll in here with your bathing suit on, enjoy some food, and be on your way. In fact, you're going to see that there are a number of different restaurant and dining venues available that have a different take, a different approach to food. So depending on how formal or informal you want your dining experience to be, you've got that. There's outside and inside seating at Surfside Eatery, and being a buffet and included, I am sure it's going to be very popular with families out there. Because again, at the end of the day, maybe you just want a little snack, maybe you want a full meal, that's available for you at Surfside Eatery. You're also going to find a carousel in Surfside. Surfside Carousel is a different take on the decor. There have, of course, been carousels on Royal Caribbean's Oasis-class ships, but this is more of a fun, ocean-themed carousel. So all the animals here are all sea animals, as opposed to the carousels in the Boardwalk and Oasis-class ships. They're, land animals and other things. Anyway, here, this is more fun, more juvenile certainly, and very colorful as well. Next up is Sugar Beach. Sugar Beach is the ice cream shop and candy shop within Surfside. This is an extra cost venue for it. And if you're looking for more flavors of ice cream, more ornate ice cream, then you're going to go to Sugar Beach over here. There's also going to be, different candies you can purchase as well to bring back to your cabin and enjoy if you see fit. Surfside Bites is another complimentary restaurant within Surfside. Surfside Bites is going to offer a grab and go. Before we get there, though, we got to talk about, of course, ice cream, and this is Sprinkles. Sprinkles is another location. We saw an earlier location up at Chill Island, but there's another Sprinkles here located within Surfside, and then Surfside Bites offers popcorn chicken, hot dog, cheeseburger, pizza toasty, and french fries, along with some sweet bites as well. Again, this is a very casual grab and go. This is, I'm on my way, I want something quick to eat because I want to go back to what I was doing. This is your option for you, and Surfside Bites has that for you. You grab it, you go back to the pool, you go back to your chair, and you're off to the races. Not that the buffet was that difficult to get into, but again, this is more of a, hey, I'm just willing to, now I'm soaking wet in my bathing suit, and I want to get something to eat, as opposed to like I've dried off a little bit, and I'm ready to sit down for something to eat. They're also going to find condiment stations and a soda machine. If you have a Royal Caribbean drink package, then of course you can use the soda machines. You need to have a souvenir Coca-Cola cup in order to use the machines, but the cool thing about them is, of course, all the combinations you can create. Now, there's also a climbing structure within Surfside, and my goodness, I remember when my kids were starting to get a little older, Royal Caribbean first introduced the first climbers, and this is in a way to just basically let your little kids get out energy, climb and slide and climb again and slide again. It's really fun, but this is an amazing space. Like, this is so much bigger and so much more ornate than when my kids were that age, but it's a really cool place for you to go as an adult, bring your kids, let them go climb, get all their energy out, and you get to obviously observe and wave to them here and there. And then when they burn out that energy, well, you do something else. I'm not sure what that'll be. Probably back to the pool again. There's also a number of different options, including the Lemon Post Bar at Surfside. Lemon Post Bar is a mommy and me bar. That's what Royal Caribbean describes. Essentially, the idea here is you have a bar that offers, of course, cocktails and alcohol and beer. But in addition to that, you've also got mocktails and cocktails specifically designed for kids. So that way, when you go to the bar and you want to grab Grant a drink, you can grab a drink for yourself and get your Gentleman Jack and Diet, but you can also get Grant and Camille, their own drinks that are obviously non-alcoholic. And the idea here behind this is that there's more than just the traditional. It's not just like, okay, we have Shirley Temples, which like everybody knows about, but they've created specific mocktails for kids. So that way, again, families can enjoy drinks together. That isn't to say, by the way, you can't go to any other bar and get a drink with your kids. The idea here is that it's just a little more inviting and there's more options for you. Pier 7 is the sit-down restaurant within Surfside, and this is a combination extra cost and complimentary. Adults need to pay for it, but if your kids are 13, under the age of 13, I should say, then it's complimentary, and it's available for lunch and dinner. And I think Royal Caribbean was toying with breakfast. I'm not sure where that's going to end up. Anyway, the point of this is that this is more of a sit-down restaurant. So earlier we had, of course, Surfside Bites, and we have Surfside Eatery, and those are far more casual. Here you're going to have more options for you to be able to have more of a sit-down experience with your kids, with the idea that there's food for adults and kids alike. You're not like, okay, well, there's nothing for the kids to eat, or it's really lame food for the adults to eat. You've got that blend of both. The menu here at Pier 7 is like California, Baja type food, if that makes sense. That's what's been described to me anyway. And it's a neat little option for you, maybe something for you to try for dinner one evening. Now within Surfside, you're also going to notice a number of cabins that look within the Surfside neighborhood. So kind of like the boardwalk in the Oasis class, these are balconies that face into the ship instead of facing outwards. And there's a number of Surfside cabins you can purchase, including suites and balconies that face into the neighborhood. So you have access to what's happening around the area and be able to see it. So from a people watching standpoint, you've got that. In addition, you can also easily get from your cabin back over to Surfside because, of course, your cabin is located within this area of the ship. Now, I mentioned there are special pools and splashaway areas, Splashaway Bay. Splashaway Bay is like the signature Royal Caribbean splash pad in which you've got water slides, drench buckets. This is aimed at kids, of course, who are going to want to just run around, get soaked. Like, I'm not talking like wet. I'm talking head to toe, water dripping, lips are blue, but they're having so much fun they don't want to get out kind of experience. You're going to find that within Splashaway Bay. This is a huge hit. And you're going to see all these chairs. You know what these chairs are for? Yeah, it's for the adults to be able to sit back and watch their kids within there. But if you're like, well, listen, it's pretty hot outside. I want to go in, but I want to go to Splashaway Bay. Well, you've got a pool specifically made for adults. Not an adult-only pool. Don't get me wrong. Kids are allowed in here as well. But this pool is on the back of the ship. It's really meant for adults to go swimming with their kids. I think the idea really is that you as the adult are in the pool and the kids are in Splashaway Bay, so you can watch them from there, but still be in the water and enjoy that. So there's a look at Surfside, which of course is the kid-friendly area. Royal Caribbean really wants this to be a haven for young families, that you have a lot happening within a certain area, so that way it's more self-contained and allows families to do more, experience more together. And again, it's more than just like, oh, I'm dropping my kids off here at Adventure Ocean. There is stuff for families to enjoy together, and there's a lot to see and eat in Surfside. I think going to keep a lot of families very, very happy. Our next neighborhood is going to be Central Park. Central Park is a concept that comes from the Oasis class ships, obviously, but Royal Caribbean has evolved the idea, and you're going to see that there's different changes to the layout and some of the options that are available here. But at its heart, this is a living park within Icon of the Seas. A really cool idea where just in the middle of the ship, on deck 8, you're going to find an entire park. And this concept is just so pretty. And there's some really cool things to do here beyond just looking at all the trees. You're going to find trees and shrubs and bushes and plants and flowers. And it's a real park. It's real plants. So nothing here made up. Our first stop is going to be Chops Grill. Chops Grill is the signature steakhouse specialty restaurant on Royal Caribbean cruise ships. You're going to find Chops Grill on every cruise ship. The difference here with Chops Grill is, first of all, the aesthetics. The design of this restaurant looks far more modern than any other Chops Grill I've been to. Usually Chops on Royal Caribbean looks very dark, and it's, you know, it has this dark woods and I guess more of a traditional steakhouse restaurant. Anyway, Royal Caribbean has kind of decided to go away from that concept and offering more of a bright look to it. In addition, the menu is a little bit different here at Chop. So, of course, there's steaks, right? But you're also going to find different cuts of steaks to enjoy. Royal Caribbean has added some new steaks that they call the iconic cuts, and these steaks include the tomahawk steak and Wagyu beef. They do cost extra on top of the dining charge you have for eating at a specialty restaurant, but if you're so interested, that's an option for you. Across the way is Izumi. Izumi is the Japanese restaurant, and there's Izumi in the park. We're going to start off with that. Izumi in the park is a casual grab-and-go sushi restaurant. The idea here is you can literally grab sushi and then be on your way. Maybe you bring it back to your cabin. Maybe you eat it in the park. But this is convenient sushi offered for you within this area. You just simply go up to the window, place your order, and you're on your way. Now, there is, of course, an Izumi restaurant, and the Izumi restaurant is a sushi restaurant that offers both sushi as well as hibachi style table. This is one of the bigger, if not the biggest, Izumi installations I've seen on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Usually you have one or the other. Either you have a sushi restaurant or you have hibachi, but here you have both, and here you have a lot of both, might I add. A lot of different tables and seating, which is really impressive, and it kind of really stands out to you because these are very popular. The hibachi tables are where the chef cooks in front of you and has all sorts of great cooking styles. It's really fun, a great family activity. All the options you see here within Izumi do cost extra, but the hibachi is one of my favorite kind of dining places to go to on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun and really good food as well. Of course, fried rice. Hard to go wrong with that. And there are also sushi tables, both inside and outside the restaurant, that you can enjoy. And, you know, whether you're a big fan of sushi or not so much, Izumi is a great option for you. There's different options available. The menu is more varied than you might think. So I would definitely recommend giving it a try, because if you're a big sushi fan, I think you're going to love it. If you're not, Izumi Hibachi is going to be right for you. Let's move over to the Trellis Bar. The Trellis Bar is the bar within Central Park, and Trellis Bar is a very pretty bar to sit at because, of course, you're right in the middle of Central Park, and I really love the ambiance of it. In addition to the drinks that are offered here, there's also actually an extra menu of food that you can order from. The menu that is available does cost extra, but you have different options to choose from. So if you want to have a light meal, or really more of a snack, I think, you can have that at Trellis Bar. That's new for Icon of the Seas, something you won't find at Trellis Bar locations on Oasis class ships. But it's one of the best spots, especially in the evening time as the sun starts beginning to set. Man, it's really pretty out here. Or heck, 11 a.m. in the morning. It's really nice out here as well. I love the breeze you get in here, and it's just a pretty area to enjoy a drink at. And one of the many, in fact, bars. Royal Caribbean's really good at creating these bars that every one of them you see, you're like, oh man, I really want to have a cocktail over here. Trellis Bar is definitely at the very top of that list. You're also going to find Park Cafe, and Park Cafe is a complimentary restaurant available open for breakfast and lunch. Also has snacks in the daytime as well. Park Cafe is a casual bagel bar in the morning and salad bar in the afternoon, along with some sandwiches. And the Park Cafe is a very popular choice because, first of all, it's included in your cruise fare. Second of all, you got some really good choices. I really love the Royal Kennewick sandwich, which is a great roast beef sandwich. In the morning, some of the breakfast sandwiches are really good. You're also going to find yogurts and cereals, and it's all really quick. This is one of my favorite places to go on a shore excursion day in which we have a tour going on and we need to get something to eat, but we're not really interested in going up to the Windjammer or certainly the main dining room or anywhere else for food. We want something quick, easy, and then be on our way. Park Cafe is a really good option for that. It's located right in the middle of the park, and there's a lot of variety of food actually for a complimentary venue that you can have, and it's just usually a real crowd pleaser. Again, the Royal Kennewick sandwich, something I think you really should try. And the best part about this restaurant isn't just the menu, but once you have the food, you can go outside and enjoy the food or your coffee or drinks or both outside, and really it's just such a great place to hang out. Sometimes I'll bring my laptop out there, work on some of my blog posts for royalcaribbeanblog.com, or maybe just sip on my coffee and enjoy the company along with me. It's just a really, really nice area. Right next to Park Cafe is Bubbles. Bubbles is a champagne window. Royal Caribbean wanted to introduce a new way to make it easy for a very popular choice of drinks, because champagne is super popular now. Whether you're talking about straight up champagne, Bellinis, mimosas, you can get them easily and quickly right here at Bubbles. The idea is pretty simple. Walk up, order your drink, and then enjoy it in the park. The ambiance of the park is just as important as the menu that's offered here. And I think for a lot of people, having champagne, a mimosa, what have you, while you're out here in the park's ambiance is just, it's the perfect combination. You're also going to notice right in the middle of the park, there is actually the very top of the Pearl. The Pearl, believe it or not, actually supports the entire weight of Central Park on top of it. It's a beautiful piece of artwork, but it's also a major structural achievement. And you have some views down into the Promenade from Central Park right over here by the windows, and you have some nice seats you can enjoy. These seats are very comfortable, rocking chairs. Love that. So if you're looking for a great kind of a spot away from some of the action in Central Park, this is definitely the space for you. A new venue on Icon of the Seas is Lou's Jazz Club. This is an interesting idea. This is both a jazz club and a lounge. And the idea here is that, of course, you have the live music, the park, jazz music. The two are just built for each other, right? And Royal Caribbean really wanted to redevelop this idea of having a jazz club on its cruise ships. It originally had a jazz club on its Oasis class cruise ships, but it was very much like a cave. It was a lot closer and quieter, and it wasn't that special necessarily. But here they've kind of evolved that concept, built it out more, opened it up more. In fact, you can be in the park and still be able to see some of the music going on within the venue, and it's a really fun spot. And of course, different cocktails to enjoy. Of course, every cocktail has kind of a jazz motif to it. Really comfortable seating. They really wanted this venue to look and feel like an authentic jazz club, not just like a room in which there's just jazz music, and it really stands out. Very, very popular choice. So make sure one of the evenings you go over there and check out the performances within Lou's Jazz and Blues, because it's a really neat venue. There's also shopping within Central Park, a number of designer jewelry and souvenirs you can purchase, from Cartier to Breitling to Regalia. There's a lot of different brands out here, so if you're into name brand souvenirs, well, this is where you can go do a little bit of shopping within Central Park. And Central Park is just not only a place to get from A to B, because for a lot of people they're getting across the ship, but it's such a beautiful area. It's hard to imagine this is actually in a cruise ship. Really, really pretty. In addition, there are cabins that overlook Central Park. These are Central Park infinite balconies, and these rooms overlook, instead of facing the ocean, they face inwards towards Central Park, and this is one of the many cabin choices available for you. I really love Central Park. I think they've done a great job with the look of it, and having been on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships that have Central Park, I think this is the prettiest version of it yet. If you're staying in a suite on Icon of the Seas, then you're going to have an entire neighborhood dedicated just for you. The suite neighborhood on Icon is one of the major neighborhoods of Icon of the Seas, and this is basically an enclave for suite guests. Let's begin with the suite sun deck, a staple of any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. The idea here is that this is a sun deck reserved just for suite guests, so the loungers and chairs and bedding that you see is just for suite guests. There's also a little mini pool in here just for suite guests to be able to enjoy. This is meant to be essentially that if you're a suite guest, the Sky class or Star class, you're able to come here and enjoy the benefits of being in this area reserved just for you. You're not competing with other guests who are staying around the ship. This is a pool and sun deck just for you for being a suite guest. And there's lots of chairs, lots of seating, a lot of comfortable seating. You're going to notice that a lot of the cushioning is a little bit more upgraded, and I love how much variety of seating there is here. And of course, plenty of views all around the suite sun that kind of envelops the entire area. It's really pretty and Royal Caribbean's done a great job with this. Many people that book a suite look forward specifically to having access to the suite sun deck because it's an area just for them. Also within the suite area is the Grove, and the Grove is a new restaurant concept just for suite guests. This is kind of like a buffet, let's call it that, exclusively for suite guests. It has that lounge space, the pool we talked about, as well as this Mediterranean restaurant that offers a variety of foods to choose from. Again, part of this also with Icon is that when you're staying in a suite, you don't have to leave the suite area nearly as much as you might on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, because you have coastal kitchen, which we'll see, but also have this area just for you to be able to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor of being in a suite stateroom by having this kind of complimentary grab and go for an easy meal, especially during the daytime where you don't want to really get up and leave. You want to have something available for you. There's also a bar within the suite area, and being a suite guest, you have complimentary drinks included at certain hours within the bar area, which is a really nice benefit as well. Now, as I mentioned, there's also a coastal kitchen and a suite lounge. The suite lounge is an area just for suite guests to be able to enjoy. It's a reserved bar area for them to go to. Only suite guests can go here and enjoy some cocktails and beers and what have you. And then you have coastal kitchen. Coastal kitchen is complimentary for suite guests. It's available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all suite guests. For junior suite guests that are not Sky Class, they get it just for dinner. If you're in a Sky Class junior suite, if it's not confusing, then you get it also available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as well. And think of Coastal Kitchen as kind of like a main dining room for suite guests, an alternative. They certainly can still go to the main dining room here, but this is a new option. The menu does change every day for dinner, and so you have different food in here. The ambiance is beautiful, and again, reserved just for suite guests. The best part about it is definitely being able to see into the AquaDome, and yeah, the AquaDome is one of the major new neighborhoods on Icon of the Seas. Next up on our tour is the AquaDome, again, one of the signature neighborhoods on Icon of the Seas. The AquaDome is more than just an indoor aqua theater, although that is the main part of it. As you're going to see, there's a lot of different components to this, but at its heart, you have the aqua theater within the AquaDome. Royal Caribbean introduced the Aqua Theater on the Oasis class ships. It was a big hit. And with Icon, Royal Caribbean wanted to up the ante a little bit in two ways. One, it's a little bit bigger. Two, it's indoors, and that allows them to perform more of the shows. By having it as an outdoor venue, they were kind of subject to a lot of the weather, especially wind and rain. Now that it's indoors, you don't have to worry too much about that. Now, this entire neighborhood is enclosed by this giant dome on top, which is absolutely immense and amazing. It's incredible to think about the engineering that went into making this venue a reality. But when you go here, you can see some amazing diving shows in the Aqua Theater. And I know that may not sound like the most amazing thing in the world if you've never been on a cruise ship before, but it's truly incredible. These diving shows involve acrobatics, dancing, and the high dives. It's really impressive. It's incredible to see these world-class athletes perform on this level, and I really do recommend seeing the shows performed in the Aqua Theater. There are two different shows you can see, so make some time for that. There's also at the front of the AquaDome, the Overlook, and the Overlook is a lounge, bar, sitting area. It's an interesting concept put all the way in the front, totally enclosed, so don't worry about the weather, and it offers some amazing views out here with different seating, and just being at the front, there's nothing in your way, and so having those kind of views in and of itself is really good. But they made this area just so beautiful with the different seating and of course all the glass around you to be able to see the ocean. You know, it's incredible to get out here in the morning, especially if you can get out really early when the sun is rising. There's just nothing like it. And they have these awesome pods you can get to. There's no cost to the pods. It's simply first come, first serve, so you gotta probably get up early to get one. But what a cool area, what a cool space to be in, to be able to see this and just enjoy time here. Maybe you go here and play cards, maybe you read a book, do some work, you know, be on your phone, but it's just an amazing spot, really, really pretty. And the Overlook allows you to enjoy this kind of a space. You know, earlier we may have seen the pool area, and when you look at the pools, that's a traditional, you know, sea day activity. But over here, maybe you're not interested in sunning yourself necessarily, but you still want to see the ocean. Perhaps it's a little cooler out or way too hot outside. This is a nice climate controlled area to enjoy. And it's a really pretty area as well. I really give Royal Caribbean a lot of credit for the design. It's colorful, it's bright. It's not just, hey, here's some seats and a bar, although there is a bar here as well, which is a really good thing, because in a lot of cases I was worried that there wasn't going to be enough bar service here. But you can grab your drinks, you can have like a pool day experience without actually being by the pool, which is really neat. And the screen you see here is not actually a real aquarium, it's just a digital screen. But again, a nice little touch to add a little, you know, flavor to the area, a little dynamic function to what you're seeing here in the overlook area. And I think if you're gonna read a book, if you're gonna just hang out with some friends in a more quiet setting than the pool perhaps, I think this is a great spot for that. And for a lot of people, it's very popular because they like that opportunity to go here and kind of take it a little easy. And during the daytime, it's not gonna be that busy over here necessarily. Who knows when it actually shakes out, when the cruises really go in force. But I think this is a vastly underrated area, and the overlook is absolutely beautiful. And I think that it's a spot that I'll be spending a lot of time in as well, because it's just so good for, doing work, enjoying the view and whatnot. The Ryan Bean is one of the bars available not only on Icon, but here in the AquaDome. The Ryan Bean is a coffee bar, and emphasis on bar. So they do serve coffees here, but they also serve, in addition, espressos and macchiatos. They also have alcoholic beverages, and there's also an espresso martini machine you can order from over here. So there's a good variety to choose from, and Royal Caribbean carefully curated a new menu to be able to enjoy these different kind of drinks. So you can get coffee in other places, like in the Royal Promenade and at Starbucks and what have you. But here you've got a different option. And I think I talked about, earlier, going out here in the morning and seeing the sunrise. It'd be great to have your espresso over here in the morning, or maybe come here for an evening drink as well. And the nice thing is, it's not just coffee. They do have coffees and espressos, but they have the alcoholic beverages as well. So, once it's not really an appropriate hour for coffee by most people's standards, not saying you can't have coffee after, 5 o'clock in the evening, but I don't think a lot of people do that. Anyway, the point is that it transitions into a bar with alcohol. I mean, they have that all day, but I think most people are going to order drinks there in the evening, and that allows you to have, again, a little more variety, something else to go to. Hooked Seafood is our next specialty restaurant on this tour. Hooked Seafood is located within the AquaDome, and this is your New England-style seafood restaurant. Hooked offers lobster and clams and mussels and fish, of course. It's really heavy on the seafood, and it's heavy on offering a lot of the type of food you might find in Maine or Massachusetts, anywhere in New England, really. And this is a restaurant concept that's been on a couple different ships, and now it's on Icon of the Seas as well. So if you're really into shellfish, if you're really into shrimp, if you're really into fish, this is a great spot to go to. They do have steak and chicken as well, so if you've got someone in the party who's not into those kinds of things, don't worry, they still have food for you as well. It's a specialty restaurant. There's a covered charge to dine here, and the nice thing about Hooked is that for a lot of people, they just want to have, a lot of lobster. Well, you can have that every night when you dine here at Hooked, and it's available for you to book before the cruise or once you're on board the ship. Next up is Celebration Table. Celebration Table is a new concept on Royal Caribbean. Essentially, what they're trying to do is address a need that existed. The idea behind Celebration Table is that you can rent out this area, and that's how it works. It's not a restaurant that you share with other people, it's for you. And that is if you're celebrating something. Maybe it's a birthday, anniversary, a party, graduation, bat mitzvah, quinceañera, like whatever the case may be, there's an opportunity for you to rent this place out and have a big seating with your entire group. Usually if you go to like a specialty restaurant like Hooked as an example, they got tables that maybe max out at, 8 or so, 10, right, at the most. Here you have a much larger table, more space, and it's obviously more private as well. So this is a great way to celebrate that kind of stuff. AquaDome Market is a complimentary venue. It might be one of the best new restaurant concepts Royal Caribbean has released in a long time. So this is a food hall that you're going to find within the AquaDome, and there's different stations you can go to. It is complimentary, and every station has different kinds of food. So there's different cuisines for each of these stations, and it's really simple. You just walk up, order what you want, and then move on. You can simply order from one, you can order from many, totally up to you. But you have Asian, you have crepes, you have Mediterranean, you have mac and cheese, you have salads. So there's a variety of food to choose from. And the great thing about it is that number one, it's complimentary. Number two, it's in a great location, the AquaDome. And number three, it's freshly made. So this isn't like, oh, here's, this burrito we made an hour ago. I mean, this is all made for you freshly as you order it. And food hall concepts have been very popular with other cruise lines. And Royal Caribbean now has implemented it here in the AquaDome with the market. And I think this is a huge hit, one of my favorite places. I do recommend the Heroes over at the Feta place. Oh man, I love that. But the sweet and sour chicken, egg roll, I mean, it's all good. You got to try a little bit of everything. I will say that the portions are on the small side. So do yourself a favor and maybe order more than one, pick and choose. I think it's a great choice for lunches and heck, even dinners for some people. It's nice that Royal Caribbean has this as a complimentary option because it's really, really good. And I just think that having different cuisines from around the world is something that Royal Caribbean has always been strong with. And having this as a new option, I absolutely love it. There's also a beverage station within the AquaDome market, so if you want to get a cup of water, coffee, what have you. They have it here, as well as you can order a drink like a soda or a beer. You can get from one of the waiters that walks around. In addition to the indoor seating the AquaDome market has, there's also seating outside, and of course you can take it as you want somewhere else. Maybe you want to go back to the pool, maybe you want to bring it to your room, or even the promenade, anywhere on the ship. You can totally do that, so feel free to do that. In fact, you can do that pretty much at any restaurant, quite frankly, so don't feel like you need to eat it at the venue that you ordered it from, but it certainly is convenient, and I think this is a great alternative. When you board Icon of the Seas, a lot of times people are saying, hey, what's an alternative to Windjammer that's a little less busy? This is a great choice for you, and I love how much seating that Royal Caribbean has added for it, because I think it's going to be very popular. I think a lot of people are going to love the variety of food the AquaDome market has, and they're going to obviously be able to sit down and enjoy it, so you have that seating there as well within the AquaDome market, so definitely take advantage of all that. Next up is Royal Bling. That's right, Royal Caribbean has its own jewelry store that is just Royal Caribbean jewelry. So the idea here is pretty simple. It's jewelry, it's necklaces, and it's bracelets, and it's rings. And the idea is that it's all Royal Caribbean themed, because there's a lot of people who absolutely love Royal Caribbean, myself included. And so they want to not only have a nice piece of jewelry, but also a Royal Caribbean piece of jewelry. And that's the idea behind Royal Bling. This is actually a goblet you can buy. It costs $100,000. I'm not joking. And it includes an unlimited drink package for life. I'm sure somebody's going to buy it. I don't know who, not me, but someone's going to do it. Anyway, if you want a more, maybe reasonably priced piece of jewelry, they have it here at Royal Bling, so check it on out. So there you have a look at the AquaDome. The AquaDome is really, I think, a sleeper hit. I mean, everyone knows about the Aqua Theater, that's not a surprise, but the other venues between the AquaDome market, Royal Bling, and the Overlook, I think are very impressive about it. In fact, just the AquaDome market, I love the most, and I could sit there all day. But definitely take some time to explore the AquaDome. Don't just write it off as, oh, it's where the Aqua Theater is. There's a lot of cool things here to check on out. Let's walk around the Royal Promenade, which is actually where you're going to board Icon of the Seas. When you walk on board, it's going to bring you right into the Royal Promenade. And the Royal Promenade on Icon is 2 decks high. It is wider, it is bigger, and there's a lot more to do here than on any other Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Now, the Royal Promenade is not a new concept to Royal Caribbean by any stretch of the imagination. It's been on there since the Voyager class. But Royal has really figured out exactly how to make this space work. Starting with the Pearl, when you walk on board, the first thing you're going to see is the Pearl, and it is massive. The Pearl serves a couple of purposes. First of all, they're structural. It actually holds up the decks above it, but more importantly, it's a beautiful space that allows you to have a wow moment when you walk on board. I promise you, when you walk on Icon, you're going to probably want to take a selfie right there, or at least take a photo of the Pearl. It's immense. It's beautiful. It changes colors. You have these kinetic tiles inside of it that change up. It is truly impressive. Right behind it is Pearl Cafe. Pearl Cafe is a complimentary grab-and-go type restaurant. It's essentially the replacement for Cafe Promenade. With Pearl Cafe, you have coffees that you can pay for. Of course, there's free coffee as well as specialty coffees, but the free coffee is available and tea and whatnot. And then you also have snacks. And the neat thing about Pearl Cafe is they have grab-and-go snacks that you can get that are pre-packaged. You don't have to wait in line for them like you would have with Cafe Promenade. But of course, the views that you have at Pearl Cafe are phenomenal. These giant glass windows. In the early preview cruises, the area at Pearl Cafe was always among the most popular places for people to just hang out, because it's so beautiful, it's so pretty, and it's such a nice place to just, have your coffee, have a little snack, and enjoy the view. So if you're going to Pearl Cafe, keep in mind, by the way, that if you have a drink package, the coffees that are here, the premium coffees, are included with your drink package, unlike Starbucks, which we'll see in just a little bit. But that being said, it is a great space. I think a lot of people are going to love this for of course, the variety of food and the views available. Pearl Cafe is a great hit for Royal Caribbean. Also, you'll notice there's actually a little library. There's no official library on Icon of the Seas. Instead, they have this take a book, give a book back kind of concept. So that's the extent of the library on Icon. Next up is the Photo and Excursions desk, again located behind the Pearl. And the Photo and Excursions desk is where you can go to, well, of course, purchase photos that you take on board the ship, as well as go to the shore excursion desk. Throughout your cruise, you're going to see photographers around the ship who are going to be taking your photos, and there's no cost to sit there and have your photo taken. But if you'd like to actually purchase the print or digital download, this is where you can go to get it. And what's also neat about it is there's a great outdoor promenade deck that goes outside the Pearl. So on a sea day, this can be a really nice spot. It's a bit of a hidden gem, I think, because a lot of people don't know that you can get out here, but definitely bring your coffee and enjoy it. And if you're looking to get some exercise in, there is a jogging track on Icon of the Seas. The jogging track goes around the Deck 5 area, and it allows you to either walk, jog, or run. And what's nice about it is because it's kind of hidden a little bit in the sense that it's not a major thoroughfare of traffic, of foot traffic that is, I feel like it's, going to be a little less crowded necessarily than otherwise. 1400 lobby bar is the bar that you'll see as you walk on board the ship, probably on your right or left. 1400 lobby bar is named after the ship's build number. Icon of the Seas in the shipyard was given number 1400. Every ship gets a number. Anyway, that's why it's called the 1400 lobby bar. And it is a beautiful bar. It's got some signature drinks on here. Royal Caribbean renovated a lot of the menus, not only for new venues like 1400 where they needed a menu, but also existing concepts had new menus created as well. And the really neat thing is that it's a beautiful space to enjoy this. Again, Icon wants to have more open windows, more views of the ocean around you. It's not an insular facing ship, it's an outward facing ship. And so take advantage of it. 1400 bar is a great spot for this. Again, there's so many places I would love to go and just hang out all day. This is definitely one of them. It's a beautiful spot. So check out the bar selections they have here. And whether you're having an alcoholic drink or a mocktail or just a bottle of water, my goodness, it's a great view. Sorrento's Pizza is on the Royal Promenade. Sorrento's Pizza is the complimentary pizza option where you can get as much pizza as you want by the slice. This is a very popular choice. It's by no means like the best pizza on earth that you've ever had, but it's certainly sufficient. It's certainly a good choice, and for a lot of people, it's their go-to, like late night, I want a slice of pizza, actually I want something to eat, and Sorrento's is the option for you. They usually have 3 or 4 varieties of pizza that are there. If you're gluten-free or have allergies, you can always ask for a special option there, but what's really great about this is that you can stop by, grab a slice, and then be on your way, and it's a great afternoon snack, a great late evening snack. Really, throughout the day, it serves a lot of purposes. There's complimentary water here as well, and there's also one of the many Coca-Cola freestyle machines that you need a souvenir cup from a drink package in order to use. There's a lot of seating at Sorrento's. Royal Caribbean really expanded the footprint to make sure that it's not going to be much of a bottleneck. There is a Solera Beauty Store on Icon. The Solera Beauty Store is, of course, where you can go to purchase cosmetics and perfumes and other things that I've seen my wife go in there to get. But the idea is that, of course, there's shopping in here. The Effie Store allows a variety of jewelry that you can purchase. So if you're interested in some special, rings or necklaces or bands, you can get them here at the Effie Jewelry Store on board the ship. Spotlight Karaoke is on Icon of the Seas. This was the concept that was first introduced on Oasis of the Seas. And this is your karaoke venue. It's a dedicated venue. This is going to be one of the hottest spots on Icon. People love karaoke, in which you can, of course, go up there to stage, sing your favorite songs, or at least watch other people sing their favorite songs. No matter which Royal Caribbean cruise ship I've been on, karaoke has always been a huge hit. People love this venue. So having a dedicated venue means that you're not going to have to worry about competing with other events necessarily. You've got this throughout the day to be able to enjoy. So definitely check out a lot of the different drinks and the different cocktails you can have here. And maybe after a drink or two, you're going to feel brave enough to go up there on stage and sing You've Lost That Love and Feeling. I'm just saying it's an option that's out there if you so choose. The Collection is in one of the other shops on Icon of the Seas in the Royal Promenade. You're going to find a lot of shopping areas on Icon, including here on the Royal Promenade. The idea behind this particular store is, of course, different bags and accessories that you can purchase. And you're going to find a lot of shopping opportunities on board. In fact, here's some Royal Caribbean branded stuff that you can purchase as well. Whether you're in the Royal Promenade, whether you're in one of the other neighborhoods, you're going to find different shopping opportunities. Some of these things are souvenirs, some are collectibles, some are high-end, collectibles and things you can buy. But the idea here is, of course, you have those choices. And the Royal Caribbean store is a very popular choice because a lot of people like to go on the ship and then come away with something that commemorates that they went on that ship. Certainly a coach bag does the trick as well, but you want to have a shirt. This is Icon of the Seas, a coffee mug, an ornament, a keychain. They have these things here, and the variety of merchandise does change throughout the year. So if you're watching this video a little later on, there might be different selections here, but this is where you can go to get a Royal Caribbean branded something to bring back, even wear on board the cruise. And in some cases, maybe you forgot something. Well, you're gonna be wearing a lot of Royal Caribbean branded merchandise while on your sailing. But it's available on the Royal Promenade for you to purchase, and you can go over there and check that out. Moving on, we have Starbucks, which is, of course, the coffee shop. Starbucks is not included in your cruise fare. It does cost extra. You can use your Starbucks card to pay for your drink if you have one at home. You just can't redeem your rewards here. But otherwise, you can earn rewards, you can earn your stars, and of course pay for your drinks with your Starbucks card, or just pay for it individually with your SeaPass card. And the menu for Starbucks pretty much mirrors what you see on land. So when the red cups come out, they've got them here on Icon as well. In fact, Starbucks on Icon actually has the Been There series, I think it's the name of it, where you have these cups that signify where you were, which in this case was Icon of the city as opposed to a city. But if you really want to get your Starbucks fix, this is available for you. Again, it's not included in the drink package, but it's available here. Casino Royale is down on deck 4 midship. There's a convenient escalator that goes between the Royal Promenade and Casino Royale. In fact, you're going to notice among Icon of the Seas, there's a lot of easy ways to get between decks. This is one of them. Casino Royale is, well, of course, the ship's casino, and it is a massive space. I'm impressed by how big it is and how much space, how many things they've been able to fit in this area. It's truly impressive, and they have, of course, slot machines, and they have blackjack, and they have craps, and they have roulette. They even have a bar inside the casino, which has actual slot machines in there that you can play while you're drinking. It's a very popular choice. Now, there is smoking allowed in the casino, which is probably one of the major detractions of the casino. Nonetheless, for a lot of people, going on a cruise and gambling is a big part of the fun. Heck, I like going on the casino and gambling a little bit. And so having this casino is probably among the best I've ever seen on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. It's really pretty space and very enjoyable if you so choose to gamble. If not, no worries at all. The Point and Feather pub is available on the Royal Promenade, and it just wouldn't be a Royal Caribbean cruise ship without a pub on board. And the pub's configuration is a little bit different here. You'll notice a lot of these venues, including the pub, is more open. They're out to the promenade, so not as insular. And the idea here is, of course, that the energy, the music, the fun gets expanded from what you find in the pub outward. So the people walking by are like, hey, look, there's a party in here, just as much as any other venue we're about to see in this video. But I love the look of it. It's definitely a new look. It's not these dark woods necessarily, and kind of looks like every other pub I've ever seen on any other Royal Caribbean cruise ship. It's a new take on it. It's fresh, and there's a lot of seating, which is always important. And I love going in the pub in the evenings to check out the performer in there because the guitars is always really, really good. The Crown and Anchor Society and Next Cruise Desk are kind of combined over here. So if you're looking to book a cruise at Next Cruise, you can do that here, as well as meet your loyalty ambassador. So the loyalty ambassador is where you can go to meet anybody who you might have a question about your loyalty status, like your points and booking cruises and any issues you might have on board the ship. But Next Cruise is where you go to book another cruise. The idea behind Next Cruise is you get reduced deposit and extra onboard credit for booking on board. So if you're on the ship already and you're thinking, wow, wouldn't it be a great idea to book a cruise, then go to Next Cruise and book that sailing. But if you're sitting at home watching this video and you're thinking, boy, wouldn't it be great to book a cruise, then I would tell you you should probably actually book it now and not wait because the price can change a little bit. There's guest services up next, and guest services is where you can go if you ever have an issue. Of course, guest service is available 24 hours a day. So if you lock yourself out of your room, lose your stateroom key, there's a billing question you might have, or really any other issue that comes up, guest services is where you can go take care of it. Keep in mind, by the way, that on Icon of the Seas, in the Royal Caribbean app, there's actually now an AI chatbot that you can use to contact guest services if you'd like to. So for something minuscule or like, hey, my thermostat isn't working, that might be something to work on with that. Port Merchants is another shop on the Royal Promenade. Port Merchants is where you can go to purchase liquor and cigarettes. This is a duty-free shop, so the items that you find here are available without taxes. And the pricing of it can really vary. You should probably compare it back at home. But the neat thing is it is duty-free. And if you purchase any of the alcohol on board, it will be delivered to your stateroom on the last day of the cruise. You can't purchase it and enjoy it immediately, but they will deliver it to your cabin to be able to bring back home afterwards. But anything else you see in here, the chocolates, the tobacco, that you can use immediately and be able to take with you. And there's a variety of different gifts and candies and things you can purchase here. So, if this is something you'd like to bring back home, that's an option for you as well. There's some neat art all around the Royal Promenade. Of course, you've got this giant dog artwork here, and you're going to find lots of artwork, but really the star of Icon of the Seas is Rover. Rover is the family dog of Icon. It's a family cruise ship, and yes, there is a golden retriever who lives on the cruise ship. Her name is Rover, and it is a she, and you might see her around the ship, and yeah, you can pet Rover, you can play with Rover. It's just kind of like, when she's around kind of thing, and she's really a star and celebrity of the ship, and so it's kind of a cool thing to keep an eye out for. Dueling pianos is a brand new idea for any Royal Caribbean cruise ships. The dueling pianos, maybe you've seen this on land somewhere, but you got 2 pianos. They do 2 sets a night. The energy in this venue is absolutely phenomenal. I went in here and I was like, I'm not so sure about this. I fell in love. It's such a cool venue. Great energy, a lot of fun. This is going to be one of the hottest places to go on Icon. It gets crowded. If you want to go to dueling pianos, I would show up at least 20 minutes earlier than the posted showtime because the tables and seats go very, very quickly. And if you try to save chairs, man, you're going to get all sorts of people trying to take your chairs any time of the day. Anyway, make sure you get here early, get a spot. It is worth seeing. They do such a good job with the dueling pianos. It's a lot of fun. It's mostly family friendly. I mean, there might be some, language here or there, but I think for most people, it's totally fine. Anyway, it's a brand new idea, and it adds so much to Icon. I love it. Across the way is the attic. The attic is on deck 6 of the Royal Promenade, and the attic is the comedy club. And this is probably Royal Caribbean's best comedy club, because on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, the comedy club kind of doubles as like a nightclub and things of that nature. Anyway, here on Icon, the attic is a dedicated venue. There's much better sight lines. The comedians can easily see the audience can see the comedian, and there's a lot of seating. It's a very popular choice. The comedy club is included in your cruise fare. There's no additional cost for it, and there's usually 2 or 3 comedians on any given cruise. I really recommend checking out, keeping in mind, by the way, that in almost every case, the comedians here are not going to be family friendly, but give it a try and book it before your cruise is one of the entertainments you can book beforehand. There's a Giovanni's Italian Kitchen on the Royal Promenade. That is something new. Giovanni's Italian Kitchen is not a new concept for Royal Caribbean, but it is a new option here that you can find within the Royal Promenade. And I love this, of course, restaurant. There's pastas, there's pizzas, there's all other Italian food. It's Royal Caribbean's take on Italian, and I think it's their best iteration ever. Royal Caribbean has had a couple different iterations over the years, but Giovanni's Italian Kitchen is my favorite. I love how they've really reinvented the menu here, and so much of it is so good. You got to try it all. The pizzas, the pastas. I was going to say, if you're going to do especially a restaurant, Giovanni's is among my top 3 for sure on any cruise ship, including here on Icon. The Schooner Bar is also available on the Royal Promenade, and the Schooner Bar is the nautical themed piano bar. Interesting, because of course dueling pianos is one piano. And at Schooner Bar, you're going to have, of course, a piano player who's going to sing, Billy Joel and Elton John and John Mayer and anything else you can think of, the Jurassic Park theme song to piano. It's a really fun spot. It's a sing-along kind of a bar. It's very fun. A lot of people love it. In fact, the Schooner Bar is a staple of any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. So the question with this venue is, well, what's it going to look like? And I love that they have the nautical theme to it, but just like the pub, it's very open, it's very inviting, there's lots of seating, and it's always a popular choice. The Schooner Bar has become just one of the most popular venues on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship for a reason, and here on Icon of the Seas, I think you're going to notice that it's equally compelling. And the great thing about the dueling pianos, along with Schooner Bar, is you have some choices now in that type of music, and I love that choice. Boleros is also available on Deck 6 of the Promenade. Boleros is the Latin-themed bar. So in the evening, you're going to have a band in here, and they'll be playing different salsa and merengue music, and it's very popular. I mean, this is one of the loudest bars you're going to find on Icon of the Seas. I mean, they really get into it. The band really pumps out the music. It's really good, high energy, a lot of fun. A lot of people like to go dancing, so people just enjoy the drinks here. By the way, speaking of the drinks, this is the place to get a mojito or a pina colada. They do a great job with that here at Boleros. Truly, the Royal Promenade is very impressive by how open it is, how much there is to do, and how much natural light you're going to find on the Royal Promenade. You might have noticed these balloons on the ceiling. On the first night of your cruise, look for a balloon drop right at midnight. It's a really fun event. But overall, the Royal Promenade on Icon has so much more energy, so much more things to do, and I think you're going to find a lot of compelling choices, especially evening hours. During the daytime, there's still things happening here, don't get me wrong, and I think you'll find things to do as well. I think in the daytime, it's more of a chill, like we'll grab a drink or read a book kind of place, but then at night, there's a lot of energy here for you to check on out. Now that we've looked at the neighborhoods, let's look at other places around the ship. The Windjammer is the complimentary buffet on Icon of the Seas, and the Windjammer is a really popular venue for, of course, meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's available for you throughout the day, and when you walk into the Windjammer, one of the first things you need to do is wash your hands. And then once you're in there, of course, well, then you're good to go to enjoy all the great food. The Windjammer is really great for people who have, well, all sorts of tastes within the food, because with the Windjammer, you have a lot of different choices, and the variety of the food is really what makes the Windjammer stand out. For breakfast, it's pretty much the same menu every day, but lunch and dinner, it does vary. In fact, for dinner time, they have themes to the menu, which really changes it up. Now, an Icon, what I love about the Windjammer is, of course, the different stations that are here, the sheer variety, and the amount of places you can go to get different kinds of food. Again, sometimes you're in the mood for, a salad. Sometimes you're in the mood for a full meal. Other times you want a salad and a full meal on top of each other. And it's really nice to have that at the Windjammer. I really like what's available here. In breakfast time, you'll have the omelet station. That's a great choice, by the way, in order to offer like freshly made eggs. Actually, one of the mistakes I think a lot of people make are the eggs that are available in the buffet station. They're okay, but do yourself a favor and go to the omelet station for that. For lunch, a lot of the options do change for lunch, and then for dinner, there's even more variety there. Something else different on Icon are these dispensers. So traditionally what they would have happen is you'd have a glass of, water or milk or what have you provided for you. Instead, there are dispensers here, and that allows Royal Caribbean to service them in the meantime, so that way you're less likely to run out of them when you need to get some of those options that are there, and it's a little more sanitary as well, and things aren't sitting around. So a nice little option. And of course, there's a bar in the Windjammer along with the soda machines, so that way you can be able to dispense your own drinks for you at the soda machines and enjoy whatever drinks you have if you have a drink package, or order drinks individually. That's available to you as well. There's a lot of seating in the Windjammer. Royal Caribbean has really put a lot more effort with its newer ships to offer more seating, more places to go, because it's a popular choice. Now, there's a lot of other great complimentary dining on Icon of the Seas, but the sheer variety of food found within the Windjammer really stands out as a really great choice, and it's popular for a lot of reasons. So if you're going to the Windjammer, I think it's a great choice for not only embarkation day, but also throughout your cruise. Don't overlook it. I know buffets are kind of like, but still, I'm telling you, it's a great choice, a lot of variety, and it's great for picky eaters. One of the signature dining venues on Icon of the Seas is the Empire Supper Club. This is a brand new concept. It is a full ornate meal. It takes 3 hours. It costs $200 a person, but this is a meal experience unlike anything else Royal Caribbean has ever offered. It's an intimate meal experience. 36 people total for a meal. The seatings are exactly one time, in which basically everybody comes in at the exact same time, and you have cocktails paired with the entrees, paired with the music provided here. This is an incredible new option for Royal Caribbean to provide something a little bit different, a little more intimate, and quite frankly, a little bit more luxurious as well. And if you're interested in checking out just like a really well-made custom thing, check it on out. Next up is the main dining room. Main dining room is, of course, the complimentary food service option for you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And hey, look, there's our friends from MEI Travel, Brandy, Ashley, and Becky. In addition to that, of course, you have the main dining room. It's 3 decks high. It's available for breakfast and dinner every day of your cruise, and lunch on sea days. The idea here in the main dining room, of course, is included. It is a gorgeous space, and it is included in your cruise fare, but more importantly, it is a very much a luxurious, elegant throwback to the old days of cruising. Depending on which dining type you have, you'll either have for dinner traditional or my time. So if you have a traditional, you'll have the same table, the same wait staff, and the same table mates every night of your cruise. My time dining offers more flexibility, and maybe you have a different dining time, but of course that allows more flexibility in terms of, where you want to eat and what time. Now there's pros and cons to traditional and my time. I prefer traditional personally. That isn't to say that if you book my time, that's a problem. But again, there's pros and cons to all of it. Regardless of that, I really like the main dining room. There's a different menu every night of the cruise for dinner. There's a different theme, and that's really nice to have that as well. Now let's talk about Adventure Ocean. And actually, Adventure Ocean is located 1 deck below Surfside, which makes it very convenient. And when you go down there, the idea is that when you're in Surfside, you've got the kids area. Now you have the Adventure Ocean Kids Club really close by. So Adventure Ocean is the complimentary kids programming available on board. And Adventure Ocean is broken up by age. So within the main part of it, we're really talking about 3 years old all the way up to 17 years old. And we'll talk more about the diversions and the breakup of all that. But the idea here is you have supervised kids programming that's included the cruise fare. Now, the kids programming in Adventure Ocean is open most of the day. Depending on if you're in a port day or sea day, the hours do differ, but let's talk about the fact that it's basically open between 9 a.m. to noon, 2 p.m. to 5, and 7 p.m. until late night, somewhere between midnight and 2 a.m. Up until 10 o'clock, it's all included. After 10 o'clock, there is an hourly charge. I'm going to tell you, as a parent, it's the best money you ever spent. And on Icon, Royal Caribbean has really done a fantastic job with the kids programming areas. There's so much more space, so many more things to do. It's truly incredible, the different venues. And the idea behind Adventure Ocean is that Royal Caribbean offers a variety of things for kids to do. Instead of having everybody do this one thing together, well, they're going to have a lot more choices for you. Now, if you have a kid that's between 6 months and 36 months old, there's Adventure Ocean Babies, aka the nursery. The nursery does cost extra. There's an hourly charge for it. It's the best money you ever spent on board a cruise for that, because having that supervised programming allows you as a parent to go outside and enjoy different things like dinner and a show and whatnot. Within Adventure Ocean proper, you have different age groups. Adventure Ocean Juniors is between 3 and 5 years old, 6 to 8, and 9 and 11, and then of course the Teen Club, which brings us right to Social 020. So this is the name of the Teen Club. The idea here is that they're not calling it a Teen Club, because of course it's not cool to call it that. The idea here is instead you have a area just for teens to enjoy called Social 020 for the teens to go to, and both of these are located right near each other. So the Teen Club is more of a social hangout spot. Royal Caribbean gets that teens don't want to be confined. They want to have an opportunity to meet other teenagers, have a home base of operations, and that is what Social 020 is. It's kind of like a lounge for teenagers, essentially. And there's different pods, there's TVs, there's video games. There is plenty for them to do in here, and there's a loose-based amount of activities, so that way teens have an opportunity to interact, get to know each other, but inevitably, being teenagers, they're going to go like somewhere else and do something else for fun. More power to them. They have that opportunity. And the Teen Club is available for them to enjoy. It is complimentary as well, all the way up till 17 years old. So that way teenagers have, again, some different activities just for them. In addition to the Teen Club, there'll be teen activities throughout the ship. Usually you'll have like teen karaoke or teen basketball, teen flow rider. Check the cruise compass for more information for those activities. Next up, we have Playmakers, located on Deck 6 aft. It's technically part of Surfside, but it's easy to miss because it's kind of in that transition from the Royal Promenade over to Surfside. Anyway, I digress. This is the sports bar on Icon of the Seas. Playmakers offers, of course, beer and snacks and food. You can go here for a full meal, as well as, of course, watching the game. If you haven't noticed already, there are a ton of TVs to be able to catch any game that's going on. In addition, there are video games and pool tables, and basically an opportunity to enjoy a sports bar vibe. That's really what Royal Caribbean wants with this. And being at Playmakers, you have a variety of things to do. I think a lot of people that go to Playmakers are going there probably to watch a game, but the food is really good as well, and it's priced a la carte. So you can order, one item, you can order 10 items. It's up to you. It's really impressive, just this space, how much area there is, how many TVs there are. Holy smokes. So you got no excuse for not being able to see the game that you want, but really the food available in Playmakers is fantastic. I love the burgers and the fries and the wings. Really, really good. And by the way, big shout out to the campfire cookie, which might be the best dessert on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. I love it in here. It's so, so good. It's amazing. It's cookies, s'mores, and ice cream. You got to try it out. But for a lot of people, it's great for a quick meal or a snack or both, and enjoying the game that's available at Playmakers. 6th and Main is located right next to Playmakers, and this is one of the shops available on Icon of the Seas. 6th and Main is best described as, well, Royal Caribbean gear, but it's more like activewear, I guess. I'm not sure how to describe it more than that, but this is all Royal Caribbean branded clothing, but it's more than just like a t-shirt or a hat. It's very much more of an athletic version, sweaters, and, well, different options for Royal Caribbean gear. If you want to check that out, I like some of the looks they have over here, and it's an opportunity for you to get more branded stuff. There's also an art gallery nearby if you're looking to do an art auction on board the ship. You can check out the Park West Gallery. You can preview some of the art available here as well. Right around the corner from Playmakers is Absolute Zero, located on Deck 5 aft. Absolute Zero is the ice skating rink, and it is where you're going to find the ice skating shows on Icon of the Seas. With Icon, Royal Caribbean has changed up the look of it. It's no longer a square-shaped rink, it's a oval-shaped rink, and that allows a little more space for, of course, tricks and whatnot, and more square footage in general for ice skating. In addition to this, there are opportunities during your cruise to actually go ice skating during your sailing. Look in the app for times for that's available. But really, when you're going to Absolute Zero, it's for you to enjoy, of course, the amazing ice skating shows. I know what you're thinking. Ice skating? Really? Yes, it's really that good, Kenny. You got to check it out. I love the ice skating shows. It's better than you expect. It's included in your cruise fare. May as well give it a try. The Royal Theater is also an Icon of the Seas. The Royal Theater is where you're going to find The Wizard of Oz, one of the signature shows on Icon of the Seas. This is a massive theater. Like, I'm not just saying there's a theater, there is a beautiful space to enjoy the shows on board. Royal Caribbean really prides itself on its shows, and on Icon of the Seas, within the Royal Theater, you have The Wizard of Oz. So this is an adaptation of the original film, and what's cool about this is just how much time and effort Royal Caribbean has put in to revive this classic film on stage with musical numbers and performers and an orchestra. I'm telling you, this is a must-see. I was really impressed with The Wizard of Oz. Truly incredible. Royal Caribbean always does a good job with its production shows, and The Wizard of Oz might be one of their best ever. Music Hall is located on deck 3 and 4, and this is a multi-purpose musical venue. Primarily, music halls to go for you want to enjoy, of course, live musical acts. Instead of, maybe a guitarist or a DJ, this is where you're going to have a band performing live music in the evening. And it's incredible because it's kind of like a concert, essentially. During the daytime, you're also going to have trivia and bingo and other things in here. But this is a really impressive space because, of course, Music Hall provides these live musical acts. And Royal Caribbean has always been really good about providing live music on its shows. It prides itself on the live musical entertainment. And the Music Hall is one of the best spaces to enjoy that energy you can only get from a band performing right in front of you. Let's check out the Vitality Spa located on deck 12 and 14 forward. Vitality Spa is where you want to go to indulge and relax at the very same time. Now, the spa does cost extra, but when you go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, the idea is you can enjoy your time there and kind of, take it a little easy, reward yourself. Vitality Cafe is one of the venues within the spa. Vitality Cafe is essentially, a bar, obviously, but it offers a variety of drinks and smoothies and whatnot. If it doesn't have protein powder, then it's included in your drink package, so if you're interested, you can go to the Vitality Cafe and enjoy that. To drive for is included here in the spa. To drive for is the salon area, in which includes a variety of salon services, including a blow-dry bar, as well as, of course, getting manicures, pedicures, and a shave for the guys, getting your hair done, haircuts, really anything a salon can do. This is what you're going to find in the Vitality Spa. And what's great about the salon is, it offers a variety of services. And a lot of times people like to have, their best look for formal night or whatnot. And I love the fact there is actually a barber shop within the Vitality Spa on Icon of the Seas. I know for guys, it's a little weird sometimes going to a salon to get your, shave or haircut. I'm pretty secure in that as well, but I like the fact that you have these options within the barbershop in the spa. But at the heart of the spa is definitely the spa treatments. There are a variety of treatments you can enjoy, and each treatment has a different cost to it. You might be asking, Matt, how can I save money on the spa? Well, probably book it before your cruise. Royal Caribbean offers discounts for the spa services before the sailing begins, and there are sweet massages, and there's hot stone massages, and there's bamboo massages, and acupuncture. Anyway, all these things are available to pre-book before your cruise. My advice is you pre-book it. That way you can lock in both a time and a price, because the spa is a very popular option. A lot of people think, I can just roll in there anytime. And when you get on board the ship, there are going to be reservations available, but they might not be for the time you want. So do yourself a favor and go to the spa and make a reservation beforehand. So that way you have the time and day that you want. In addition, there's also the thermal suite on Icon of the Seas. The thermal suite is a pass, essentially, you purchase for the duration of your cruise. And you can go and access the thermal loungers, the steam room, the rainforest room. Essentially, this pass gets you as much as you want access to this venue, so check it on out. Fitness Center is also available, deck 5 and 6. A little different here on Icon. Usually the fitness center and the spa are like right on top of each other. But here on Icon of the Seas, the fitness center is located elsewhere. Anyway, I digress. The fitness center is more than just like a hotel room that has, a couple of weights in the corner. There's ellipticals, there's treadmills, there's free weights, there's machines. There's a lot here, and the fitness center is included in your cruise fare, which is truly incredible when you think about how many different options you have within the fitness center. Now, there are classes that do cost extra, but these machines you're seeing here, the leg presses, the arm presses, the dumbbells, the treadmills, the ellipticals, these are all included in your cruise fare. It's a very impressive gym setup, and if you want to go in here and get your workout in, this is definitely the place to go for it. In addition to the fitness center, there's also fitness classes. These do cost extra, but if you're interested in cycling or Pilates, then you can pay a little bit extra to enjoy those classes while on board your cruise. And, depending on what you're looking for in terms of getting your fitness in, there's a variety of choices for you within the fitness center. The Crown Lounge is available if you're a Crown and Anchor Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle member. The Crown Lounge is a reserved area just for Crown and Anchor members. The idea here is that it's a reserved spot to be able to enjoy drinks in the evening, as well as complimentary snacks in the morning and afternoon and evening, as well as a coffee machine. Basically, this is a reserved spot just for Royal Caribbean's top tier cruisers to be able to enjoy. And if you get to Diamond, one of the major perks is to go to the Crown Lounge and be able to enjoy the benefits here, including the Diamond ambassador who's there to help you out. The conference center is available if you're in a group. Honestly, if you're not booked in a group or a conference, there's no reason you'll ever go to the conference center, but I wanted to show you the conference center because, of course, it exists. So the conference center is a space you can go to if you have a different group that's on board. Maybe you're part of a meeting or a consortia or what have you. Anyway, it exists. If you're just going on a Royal Caribbean cruise, you'll never need to go here, but the space does exist if you ever want to have a group meeting in the conference center. On Icon of the Seas, the elevator game has completely changed up because the standard elevator experience has been completely reimagined. Instead of pressing a button and waiting for an elevator that may or may not stop at your floor, passengers now input their destination into a touchpad located outside the elevator. The system then assigns them to an elevator that will either take them directly to their floor or make a minimal number of stops along the way. Once inside the elevator, passengers will notice there are no buttons, which is a feature designed to prevent unnecessary stops and streamline the journeys ahead. The innovative elevator system is just one of many steps Royal Caribbean has taken to enhance the onboard experience for passengers on Icon of the Seas. By making it easier with the elevators, this new destination system allows for more efficient production with the elevators in there. Now, of course, there are cabins all over the ship. When you book a cruise on Icon, you're going to pick one of these many cabins. They're inside, ocean view, balconies, and suites, and of course, there's pros and cons and prices, of course, for each of these. In this video, we're taking a look at one of the standard balcony cabins that overlooks the ocean, but there are a variety of cabins to choose from. Which should you choose? Well, it really depends on your budget, who you're traveling with, and of course, what your needs are. There's an argument that you can make that say, hey, listen, I'm going to spend my time all around the ship doing these amazing things. Why should I spend a lot of money for a cabin? Alternatively, you might say, well, I might want to have a really nice cabin to be able to take advantage of the perks and amenities that are included with it. Maybe you're saying you're not a big party animal or you're not looking to spend that much time around the ship. For you, it's more important to spend time around in your cabin and taking advantage of what you're paying for. And look, there's no right or wrong answer to it, but what I like about Icon of the Seas is Royal Caribbean has really upped its game with its cabins. Number one, you're going to notice that within the shower, there's a seat in there, which is really helpful and just practical, quite frankly. But in addition, there's lots of storage space. It's a modern look to the cabin, really pretty, and I think you're going to find no matter which cabin you choose, I think you'll be happy with the decision because, of course, there's a lot happening around the ship. There might be more amenities to enjoy within your cabin, but no matter what you choose, the good news is Royal Caribbean has some really nice amenities within each cabin available, and Royal Caribbean's suite amenities, which looked earlier at the suite neighborhood, are truly fantastic. Now, you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a great time on a cruise. I think, quite frankly, a cruise is what you make of it. And in terms of the cabin experience, you can do an inside, you can do a suite, but there's some really impressive cabins all around the ship, and you're seeing a look at some of these type of different categories because Royal Caribbean really wants to offer something for everybody, from the cheap interior to the amazing six-figure cost of the Ultimate Family Suite. Yeah, this Ultimate Family Suite is 3 decks high. It's 1,772 square feet, and it sleeps up to 8 people. And yeah, it costs like $100,000, no joke, for one of these cabins. No matter what you choose, there's, again, pros and cons. There's different budgets that are out there. I just want to show you what's available out there because this Ultimate Family Townhouse is truly incredible, but you can have a great time in an inside cabin as well. Don't feel like you need to go for a super high cabin in order to have a really great cruise. Royal Caribbean wants to have different price points, different variety of cabins available for you, but obviously checking out the Ultimate Family Townhouse is, well, it's pretty incredible. I mean, and there's no doubt about it, having this kind of a cabin would be an amazing experience, but it is over the top, admittedly, so don't feel like you need to go completely over the top as well for this kind of a room. Well, there's our look at Icon of the Seas. Hopefully it gives you a good idea of what to do on board and get you excited for your Icon sailing. Let me know in the comments below. What are you most excited? What do you want to do first, second, and eighth on board? That's truly important. I can't wait to see your comments below. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.